Hi there, my name is Mauricio Vallejo, and today I will be critiquing the nonfiction novel I've read called Island of the Lost by Joan Druett. All right, so this book it is based in the year 1864, and it is about Captain Thomas Musgrave and his crew aboard the ship the Grafton. Now, while they were sailing around in the seas near New Zealand, they because of how bad the weather conditions were, they shipwrecked on the island of Auckland Island, just south of New Zealand. I say just south, like it wasn't like really far away. It was south of New Zealand, yes. Um, and when they shipwrecked, it was just they landed on the worst possible island ever, according to both the book and some. According to the book, it's that landing on the island also means certain death. And when they first landed on the island, I thought, oh, they're not going to survive if the book is mentioning that it's certain death when you land there, because there is very heavy freezing rain all the time year long, and the winds are very strong. So freezing rain and super strong winds, that's just like pneumonia and like one day tops, easy. But there is also another ship crew that landed on that island called the Invercalled. There wasn't any names mentioned for that crew, you know. Well, I didn't see any names. I might have forgotten them, honestly. But that crew landed on the other side of the island, 20 miles apart. So both crews were 20 miles apart. And what I like about this book is that they took both perspectives of both crews, and they set it up. They said a perfect example. It gives a perfect example of how human nature works: good versus bad human nature. All right, for Captain Musgrave and the Grafton crew, you have good human nature. You have your survival instincts, which means coming together as a team, working together, and foraging and all this stuff. They built a cabin. They started foraging for all kinds of things. And at the end of the book, they eventually escape off the island. Now, you take the Invercall crew, which is the bad human nature, and they don't work together. When they shipwreck, they're just like, it's almost like they just get into an immediate fight with each other. They go into like Darwinism mode, survival of the fittest. They just like go against one another. They believe they believe like trust no one. That's what they believe. And they start killing each other, eating each other. They convert to cannibalism. They eat each other. I was like, wow, this book is very intense. I mean, it is 1846. Back then, this was that's what mostly everybody believed. Just, you know, just sacrifice one person. We'll eat them for later. You know, all that stuff. But they don't survive at all. Just, it's a bad thing that happened to them. They didn't work together. They just believed trust no one. They only trusted in each member of the Invercall crew just trusted in themselves, and they're gone. They don't exist anymore. You know, dead. And then of course I already mentioned that Captain Musgrave and the Grafton crew, because of building the cabin and building fires and a forge and all of that stuff, they eventually make it off. They find a way to escape and get off the island. And what I like about this book is that it's all true, not hence nonfiction novel. It is a very good nonfiction novel. This is all based on true facts from historical journals and the survivors' journals and historical records, and it's just straight knowledge coming from those journals and then put in as one big story and one side by side of human nature. Um, and and that's all I gotta say about the book. I believe you should read this book because it is very interesting. I've never read a nonfiction novel like as it detailed as that, and I also believe the book is very well written because Joan Druett, the author of the book, is a maritime historian. So she uses the proper vocabulary, the proper terms, definitions, just to describe what is happening, what happens on the ship, and um, the names of the ships, you know, and all and the positions of each person on the ship and what they were and all of that stuff, and just the overall knowledge of how the island worked as well. So that's why I believe the book is well written, proper vocabulary, all of that, just the perfect vocabulary to fit with this book. Alright, so that is the end of my peer critique. I hope y'all decide to read this book because it is a very good book, and I hope with this critique I convince y'all. Alright? Thank you. Y'all have a good day.